Hey Internet, it's Rev, and this week we're going subterranean with some alien bird thingies to make things glow. There's some horror game I couldn't play, so Tech's gonna talk about it. We also irritate the general public by mail spamming them for donations. Hashtag bring back the box and Ludum Dare 33. We even talk triple I. Grab your Riot Shield and batons, it's episode 73 of Indie Game Riot. 63! Fuck!
You Indie Game Riot! Everybody, this is Josh, and we're on episode 63. Fuck, 73. Fuck, 63.
Sorry about that.
We were going to redo it, but then we...
Fuck it.
Then we thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Episode 63 of Indie Game Riot Podcast. We've got some cool games today, and we're giving away a copy of each one. But that's later. For now, we're going to talk about ourselves, because we're narcissists.
Yeah.
Yep.
Narcissist number one. Take it away.
I worked a lot, and I'm going to work this weekend.
I like that you just identified yourself as number one narcissist.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on a mug for you. Number one narcissist.
Out of everybody here. No, it's I worked a lot, and I'm going to be working more this weekend. I found out today as I was leaving the office, I have Monday off, which is going to be nice since I'm working tonight and Saturday night into early Sunday. So that'll be fun. See what happens. But other than that, I played some games this week as I was falling asleep. I've been playing Party Hard, and
I beat it.
Fun. Well, good for you. I haven't.
Although I was thinking about doing for one of our streams for Patreon. Although I don't know if it's going to work with Hitbox, but we'll see. They have they just implemented integration.
Yeah.
So they can fuck with you while you're playing.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That was it.
Right.
I had a heart attack the other day. I can't remember. It was like no, not legitimately.
Well, knowing the way your body works, I wouldn't be surprised.
So I was actually playing for the first time our Peep Show game, and I'm sitting here playing, whatever, we'll get to that game when we get to it, but I'm playing and thinking about stuff, and then all of a sudden I hear my speaker sort of pop and my screen goes black and my computer shuts off, and I'm like, that's weird, the power must have flickered. I go over to turn my computer on, nothing. The power isn't out. There's a light on. My fan is still blowing. Let's see if the power strip still works. So I turn something on that's on the power strip. Nope. Uh-oh. Okay, try it one more time. Okay, this isn't good. So I pull it out and I do
you just get that sinking feeling.
Dude, I mean, like, because I had to replace the motherboard on this thing a day before I had to use this to work on a 72 Fest film. And so, like, I'm like, please don't be the motherboard again. Please don't be the motherboard again. I don't have to take everything out and then put everything on a motherboard that I can't afford and then put it back in and just be completely fucked. But I was like, the motherboard isn't powering on at all. Like, nothing, anything. Let's take the power supply. And I tested it to see if it worked, and it didn't, which is awesome. So I went out, bought a new power supply, put it back in my machine, and it works, and I'm really happy about that.
Woo!
And it won't stop me from blaming our Peep Show game
You've
for
actually
killing my computer.
You've actually rigged it up so that way you have to pedal in order to
Yeah. But on the bright side of the new power supply, I'm able to. I guess I was like really reaching the wattage limit for my rig, so all my overclocks were like really unstable if they went above a relatively median clock. Mm-hmm. So now that I added an extra 50 watts to the power supply, and it's a better power supply in general, so now I'm able to like overclock a whole gigahertz faster on my processor. So
congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's worked out for you.
Yeah, it did work out for me. hey, Rev was just like, I worked next. And, I had to fill the time. Josh, what have you been up to?
Well, no one ever cares what I have to say. I had to fill the time.
Exactly. Moving right along.
No,
So,
you know what I mean.
up next, indie news and... No, I'm kidding.
Josh.
Oh, I have a cold, so that's cool.
Oh.
I have a head cold, so I've been like coughing out like neon colored stuff, and it's pretty gross.
Don't look at it, man.
You should hear it, Rev. You should hear it.
No.
I can like right in your ear centrally.
It's one of those like ASMR videos, just like, today I have a cold. You will now join me on that experience.
I had a cold, and I had a fantastic breakfast this morning. That's the highlight of my week. It's interesting because like the breakfast it's a breakfast buffet, and all kinds of breakfast stuff for $6 person.
That's pretty good.
And all you can eat. And then my wife brings up a good point because she works at a particular establishment that sells breakfast, and that said breakfast you get like a sandwich for that price, like a tiny little greasy crummy sandwich. Why would anyone, knowing that this buffet that I went to exists, ever go anywhere else? That's why.
I don't know, man. Like $6 for breakfast in general. Like if it's a breakfast, like you can go to McDonald's and get cheap breakfast, but all you can eat for $6.
It's not bad.
That's really not bad, and as long as the food doesn't kill you, I mean.
No, it was good. I had pancakes, omelets, bacon, sausage, fruit, freaking donuts, stuffed French toast, sausage gravy, shit on a shingle.
Stop! You're making me hungry.
It was really good. So yeah, that was my highlight of the week. Indie News Injection.
That was my.
That was a great segue.
That was.
Somebody popped in and then disappeared again, and I'm sad.
Oh,
Really?
Sorry.
That's so sad.
Okay.
Okay.
God, I'm so tired.
I haven't had much sleep ever since said establishment has hired my wife to work overnights.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she works overnights.
Ouch.
That sucks.
10 to 6.
Ooh.
Ow.
And she doesn't drive, so I have to get up, get the kids ready, go get her, come back. Hopefully
Put
they
the
go
kids
back
to bed.
Hopefully.
You could just start giving them Tylenol PM in the morning. Like, they wake up, and you get them all dressed ready. Be like, hey, we're going to go get mommy. Here, take your vitamin. And they go, yeah. And by the time you get back, they're unconscious again.
That happens sometimes. Like, they're not too bad, but a couple times they're just like, I'm awake. And like, oh, you're tired. Jumps on you. Bounce. That's why if I seem like I'm very lackadaisical and whatever right now, it's why. Because I got like 3 hours of sleep, so.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I could never have kids. I could never deal with somebody waking me up before I have to get up. That's the worst for me.
That was grumpy.
All right. Who wants to talk about Ludum Dare?
I'll do it.
Ludum
All right.
Dare.
I'll take
Who
the
wants
first
to talk
one.
about Torchlight 3 Hopes Doused?
By the way, when I was talking to Rami Ismail,
Uh-huh. Did you know he's Muslim?
I thought he was Jewish, but isn't Ramadan Jewish?
No.
No.
No, that's Muslim.
Oh, well, I knew he celebrated Ramadan, but I was thinking it was Jewish.
Passover is Jewish.
Jewish.
I actually... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, during that talk, I don't know if it was him or like his friend pronounced it Ludum Dare, too. So fuck you.
No, it's Ludum Dare.
Fun fact. I have a friend whose actual given name is Jihad Ramadan.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
It was the like... Yeah.
Cool.
He's a real cool dude.
Death to the infidels, except when I'm Fasting.
Wait. Tech, are you doing Layers of Fear?
No. I was going to talk about Lumini, but I can talk about Layers of Fear too.
I don't remember who was, so...
No, that was going to be Tech because he played it more than any of us.
Yeah, but I also played Lumini a lot too. But
so did I.
Rev. All right, Josh, jeez.
Okay. Ludum Dare. And this week on Indie News Injection, starting off, Ludum Dare number 33 had the theme, You Are the Monster. There were over 2,700 entries.
You're a monster.
114 pages of games.
Holy cow. Like, I have a big desire to start playing through them all. At the same time, I don't have time to play the games that I'm already scheduled to play, let alone...
It's sad that you have to schedule games.
Right? Anyways, the turn-in is done, and at this point you're playing and rating. Judging ends 1 week, 2 days, 22 hours, 54 minutes, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Also, we have 5 days as of this recording. You better be fucking ready to hug.
Oh,
did you?
That's what you're talking about.
Did any of the games like catch your eye just right off the bat?
I honestly, I'll be totally honest. I have not bothered looking.
There are so many games.
I will say that tonight's free fun game came out of this Ludum Dare, and I understand exactly how it fits with the theme.
That game is kind of a given, though.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
I mean, as far as like why we're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of talking about things, I wish we didn't have to talk about this, or this didn't even happen at all. A few episodes ago, I think it was actually a while ago, we reviewed a game called Moonrise, and unfortunately, Moonrise is no longer going to be developed, and it's gone.
It's done.
Moonrise is done.
I'm getting really fucking irritated with this shit.
But at least the studio isn't gone.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Not to talk shit on the studio.
Undead Labs.
Undead Labs. But this is the first game, arguably, State of Decay, which is like their debut game, or at least the one I know from them, was overpriced and not well polished, not very well implemented either. And this game came out, and I was like, "Oh, look, it's completely different from what they've done, and it looks nice. It's really fun.
It's real
cool.
smooth.
It's
they didn't bite off you more than they could chew.
Why? And now they're just not gonna."
So here's the problem that they said that they were having. The problem that they said they were having was through the analytics on their iOS limited release and on Steam. They realized they found out that people like playing Moonrise, and then some people really like playing Moonrise. The unfortunate thing is that the people who only sort of like playing Moonrise will play it for a few days and then never come back.
Okay.
Which is what I did.
Because
I had a great time. I had a great few days, and then I put it down, and I didn't come back.
Hence the problem of trying to do the microtransactions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's something that they said they were sort of experimenting with.
We told you, by the way. Dead Labs. Dead whatever you are.
Yeah, I feel bad, but at the same time, like, these guys have potential, and I just hope that this doesn't set them back so far that
I don't
they
think it
won't
will
be able to make any more games.
I don't think it will.
To put it into a sports analogy that no one here is going to understand, that's like a Rev. That's like a top.
That's like punting on the 32nd base.
That's like a top draft pick going into professional and then being a complete bust. They have all the potential in the world.
What does that mean?
Okay,
That's not even English. You're making shit up now.
But yeah, it really sucks. Undead Labs take this as learning experience. I feel really bad because the game wasn't bad.
No, it was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time. I played it for 2 weeks. Almost every day for 2 weeks.
It was fun.
I had to move on to other games, unfortunately.
I hope they could possibly repurpose this to be more like, and maybe make it better, because if this was like a more open world game,
or make it a single player game.
Yeah, an open world single player
would have been
single price.
Like, excuse the freaking call. Someone keeps trying to call, and I keep hanging up on them.
They're calling our number?
No, it's Skype. I don't know who the hell this is. Anyway, to make it the single player game, I think would be the best move, because first of all, take away the stupid ass microtransactions.
Yeah.
And then second of all, that way you don't have to rely on a consistent fan.
Or you could do it as keep the microtransactions, but change it up a bit so that it's not. Go ahead.
Here's what I'm thinking. Make the game single player.
Yep.
Make it sort of open, but sort of have, general paths, whatever. Put in areas with different monsters spawning at random times. Have different checkpoints. Have bosses that you have to complete, and have a final objective that you're trying to go to. Basically, make it Pokemon. But
which it is.
Do it in exactly. Do it in that style, and I will pay $20 for that game if it's good.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I would not hesitate to spend ridiculous amounts of money on that universe and that sort of style, like 3D style, in a 3D Pokemon game.
Well, something to if you didn't get a chance to play it, you have until midnight, December 31st. So Happy New Year's, midnight or Moonrise is going away.
That's the other problem too. Is I know early access is always a risk.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's just again people's money, people's expectations.
Oh yeah,
shot down.
That does suck.
And then no matter who it is, it always makes you question. It makes you start to question their intentions in the first place. At least it does me.
Well,
even if there's not really much foundation to that.
I think that this talk can move into our discussion point, so we'll sort of it'll come around. I promise. Yeah.
I motion to table. Move to the next item.
The next item, more sad business.
Right? God.
Yeah.
Like last week there was no news. This week it's all like, down the street and not across the tracks.
Oh God. If you didn't get that reference,
it's okay.
That's okay.
Anyway, Runic Games, the developers of Torchlight and Torchlight 2, two fantastic,
amazing games,
Diablo-ish games. And a lot would say even better than Diablo. And as a matter of fact, the people who started Runic Games are from
the old Diablo team,
Blizzard. And but unfortunately, thoughts of a Torchlight 3 have been shot down.
Yep.
So if you were looking forward to Torchlight 3, I'm sorry, but you'll have to shed your tears over replaying Torchlight 2.
But
maybe make a mod.
But what if they're doing something better?
Like their new game, Hob?
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah,
so it's not all. It's not
I don't
all
really know
sadness.
much about that, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't have a opinion.
Well, here's my take on it. Like, Diablo 3 came out and kind of fucked Torchlight.
Which sucks because who's playing Diablo 3 anymore?
I played Diablo 3 and
actually
I thought it was boring.
I saw somebody tweeting yesterday.
Well, they just
was it yesterday or the day before that they were playing Diablo 3.
I think they just updated or something.
Oh, that might be why.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's sad. Runic Games, I have high hopes for Hob. It's apparently completely unlike Torchlight and Torchlight 2. So we'll see what's going on there. Yeah. Well, got this next one.
Transitioning into the opposite of what we've been talking about, something that is coming out.
Hopefully.
Well, yeah, you never know anymore, apparently. This War of Mine, if you remember one of our strong picks for Riot of the Year last year, it was actually one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
They are coming out with This War of Mine, The Little Ones, which is the sequel to...
Yeah, it's kind of like a sequel type add-on, but not quite sequel.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like if they're considering a DLC or a full-fledged sequel or what. Because this War of Mine, the little ones, in my mind, I think like DLC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought DLC as well.
But I don't know if they're selling it as DLC.
It says it's expansion.
Okay.
It says it's
Well,
an
Okay,
expansion.
cool. So then that makes sense.
Then, the expansion DLC, like, what's really the difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but either way, it's something to be excited about because this War of Mine was fantastic.
Now you're playing it from the perspective of children.
So even more depression.
Yeah. Feel even worse about your choices.
Yeah, exactly. Children have to make.
I think
terrible
it'd be
choices
really
too.
funny if there was an option where you could like click, be like, all right, like you've already played through, done a playthrough, and it remembers that, and you're like, it reads your save data, and you're like, all right, I want to play as a child in this campaign, and then you are ordering everybody around, and you have to exist in this world that you created.
It'd be like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
That'd be
That would
interesting.
be kind of cool.
Yeah, like
You have to basically play with how you played.
like
the
all the,
original.
it's like that'd be interesting. Like a group of kids who have been orphaned because of said war, and they're all grouped together, and like you play as the leader of the kids.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like, and then it goes like into Lord of the Flies shit, and
yeah, and then someone gets eaten. I don't know.
yeah, and there's a kid named Piggy. He dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
Sorry.
If anyone was planning on
ever.
if anyone was planning on reading Lord of the Flies,
It's been decades.
it's a good book though.
But instead of reading, we could open things. I guess you do open books. But
Just so everyone knows, the Indie Box, we do have an affiliate link on our website, which will give us a little bit of a kickback if you decide to subscribe through that link. However, Rev here has purchased this with his own hard-earned, overly hard-earned money. And so we are not being
compensated for this
for
segment
this
of the.
segment, yeah.
This comes out of my paycheck, and yep. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah.
Okay, so I have this policy because I don't want to ruin it before the unboxing. I cut the tape that holds the box closed, and then I put a blanket over it, and then reach through, and I'm turning so I can't see it, and it's all under the blanket, and I take the plastic baggie off, and then yeah. So wow, that is awesome, and this was a game I was really excited for too.
By the way, this is Apotheon.
This is Apotheon.
And we did not actually talk about this, but
We did.
We talked about it in passing.
Okay, I'm getting there. We did not feature it, but we did talk about it at some point. I think for one of our recap episodes, or maybe it was in a news segment or something. But
Yeah, it was something like that.
yeah.
Ooh,
What was it? Were they at MagFest?
477.
No, they weren't. I think it was
okay.
I think it was like a IGF or maybe Indiecade after
maybe.
Rev got back or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was
Possibly. Something.
Maybe it was IGF.
Number 477 is my number. Let's see
Is that
what
the lowest? Is that lower than last time?
last month's was Guacamelee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, last month's was 421.
Oh,
Oh, so
Deco.
close.
Honestly, I love the art on this.
Yeah, it looks really good. That looks like an old school, big box collector's edition,
and then
PC game.
and even the back isn't bad.
By the way, their boxes have gotten bigger,
And
just size wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literal size wise, they're bigger. Because I saw a picture of someone who's been getting the boxes for a long time now, and they had them all lined up together, and they used to be small, and now they're
Real size.
Have-
50% bigger than.
all but 4 of them, or all but 3 of them. Okay, so what do we got this month? We have an Apotheon sticker.
Woo.
That's a cool sticker.
Yeah.
That's a cool shape that they have there.
This month's Apotheon themed indie box sticker going on my desk.
Has your boss said anything about that yet? Just
Not yet. Oh wow, this one's big. Oh cool, I got a mini poster that is the box art.
Oh, that's cool.
That reminds me of the old Star Wars posters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The way it's just laid out.
Mm-hmm.
very much so. I don't know. I might have to give this one to my munchkin. Next up.
He literally has a dwarf.
Yeah. This month's book
That looks like
pretty
it's
cool.
like it's printed really, really well.
Does it
Yeah.
have that like new inky like?
Yeah, it kind of does.
It like the sheen on it just made me like
Yeah.
smell it in my imagination.
2 pages of story, the characters, Aphrodite, Artemis, Athena, Apollo, Ares, Athena skeletons, Brontes, Chiron, Chimera, Cyclops, Demeter, Diomedes, Dionysus, Hephaestus, Hera, Hades vultures, Hades, Hermes.
The rest of the book is just the characters. All 7 pages of it.
Prometheus, Satyr, Zeus, and Poseidon, and then there's weapons and armor and shields and nectars and areas and wow, like
Dude, think about how much work you have to do to make that.
Alien
Like just the
Trap.
book. Like
Well, just they have to hire the graphic artist
uh-huh.
and have to have someone like actually put the information in there, like who knows the information, and then they have to print it and then send it out.
This month's soundtrack, I like the box art for that.
yeah.
Composed by Marios Aristopoulos.
That sounds Greek.
Yep. There are 24 tracks ranging from The Oracle, In the Forest of Olympus, 10 Years of War, Stalemate, Ares, God of War, and Road to Troy, among others.
Probably sounds epic.
This month's Indie Box newsletter.
All the art in this one. I think this might be one of my favorite ones just for art alone.
I think that Cereal Box one's still my favorite, but yeah,
that's true.
This one's nice.
This one just like feels like the boxes that you would get a long time ago.
They have an interview with the co-founder of Alien Trap, the developers, in here. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but October 8th through the 11th is New York Comic Con. Indie Box will be there.
Cool.
Booth 2167.
All right.
Yeah. Taco Apocalypse.
Go.
Sheet. What else do I got? I have a Apotheon mouse pad.
Nice.
Because you use mice.
Yes.
Do you wait? Maybe you use it at work.
Stick that to your
you go.
desk at work.
I like the art on that one. And then I have a little scroll thingy. I don't. I'm afraid to open it. Can I open it?
It's like old Greek.
Maybe it's not supposed to be opened.
It's old Greek.
I hope so.
Old Greek pinup.
Yeah. Like, this is actually kind of cool. It's hefty, too. It's like, you could brain somebody with it.
Wow.
Oh, it's like solid metal.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay.
I was right. It's pinup.
Close. It's actually the game map.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was close.
That's awesome.
Hear ye, hear ye. That is
Come
so
play this
fucking
game.
cool.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, and then there's the favorite part of Josh's this month.
Rocking in his rocking chair?
Oh yeah. The
There's our
physical
card.
game key, or copy, I should say.
cool.
The key is on the box.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, share your Steam key.
I think
with
this one
everyone,
might
everybody.
be. I think this one might be like one of the cooler ones.
I think art wise,
Yeah.
like terms of just sheer
I think they
badass.
get different artists every single time too. So like, props to whoever did this one. It probably
Yeah.
says in that newsletter or book or something.
I'll
Yeah.
have to sift through it and find out. But seriously, like this was nice. Now, how do I put this thing back together?
Never.
Okay, while I'm packing this back up, I'm reboxing the box. Let's talk about our discussion point, or do you think
Yes.
we're taking enough time?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I think that discussion point should be talked about.
So there's kind of a move, and I've seen several people discussing it recently about the triple I scene. Not triple A, but triple I, and how they think that this is actually going to be a bad thing in the long term. Basically, it all came about from a economics posting that somebody made that basically said almost all of the money that gets spent on games is obviously most of it goes to AAA. And then we have the independent scene, but even there, unless you are some wild breakout that, just happens to get lucky, 90% of the money that does make it to the independent scene goes to what is now or sometimes being called triple I. You know, it's the larger teams with better funding or
teams that have gone
isn't
from
that-
producing AAA back to indies.
Like,
Right.
But calling it like saying it's detrimental to the indie game, I guess, economy.
Think about it like this.
I don't know if that's true because I mean, hasn't it always been like that with AAA and indie games in the first place?
It has always been like that.
It's I mean, and honestly, every
what I think
startup
is?
indie game studio or dev has to start somewhere, and then those breakout ones are the ones that they break out for
Don't
a
have
reason.
to-
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like they become the AAA. I don't know.
Right. Well,
So-
but see, go ahead.
So here, like when I first heard about this and I was first understanding, I was just like, yeah, that is bad for the indie community because like I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the development teams who I would consider AAA, and you know in my head I'm like, yeah, and the numbers are gonna be a lot more skewed. But then I realized that the person who is talking about this doesn't understand that the passion that all these developers have for making games, they're still gonna make games. People are still gonna buy them, and even if they're making
So
less money,
are what they saying is that it's going to hurt the output of indie games? Because first of all,
no, I don't think it's gonna hurt it. I mean,
like people are no longer going to want to make indie games if they start to realize that there's no money to be had except for the select few.
maybe that's good though.
But that's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
that's
Well,
good.
for one, like you said, people they're going to be passionate, so they're not going to stop
Yeah.
making games. But even if they did, not that I want, because I am all for releasing creativity.
Yeah.
But even if they did, we always talk about how saturated it is now and how much shit there is to wade through.
Well, see, here's the thing. This is kind of I put the title in there. Is this the wave of the future? Or is this indie games ET event for a specific reason? No. Because Tech, this happened before you were born.
No, I understand. I know what happened.
But back in the day, everybody was an independent developer, and the big, huge AAA names of today were those triple I's. 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And it wasn't really until early 90s, mid 90s that all of a sudden those names that they were small groups of people, 20, 30. Fuck, look at Bungie. Look at Bungie, for Christ's sake.
Activision.
Yeah, like these guys made fantastic games and they were, a group of 10 people meeting together at a school gymnasium. And now their companies are worth billions. So they kind of moved past that, and we haven't seen until within like the last year, I would say, we haven't seen anybody kind of moving up to fill that gap. So ultimately, I'm thinking that this is going to be a good thing because we're now seeing the independent scene rocking back from losing all of that triple I talent to the triple A. And we're opening up.
But AAA can say the same thing because they lose talent to indie games.
Well, but
right, but
so,
it's. Go ahead.
So this might also be. It might also be good to understand sort of the state of how all games are, because when you look at the new consoles that came out, the amount of exclusive content just on consoles, or even the AAA content going to these new consoles for these new consoles, is so abysmally low, and yet PC gaming is seeing massive gains
Resurgence.
in popularity. Yeah, exactly. And most indie games are being played on PC, and currently
because it's cheaper to release on PC.
It is cheaper to release on
I mean,
PC.
who wants to pay $3,000 to get on?
And so instead of it being a console market mainly back in the 80s, and then those companies moving up. Well, I mean, you had computer gaming, but really, the NES, that whole era.
You're wrong, but moving on.
You know what I'm talking about. But that's what people focused on a lot of the time. But now consoles, like, that's not all the AAA. A lot of AAA developers aren't even focused on just releasing games for PC users. They're worried about console games.
Well, and
that leaves PC open for more games to be released that are good. that indie developers can fill.
I want to say something about the ET thing that you threw in there. I think that's a little maybe overreactive in my opinion. Because the ET thing was like cataclysmic for video games. Like, video games like just didn't happen because of that whole thing.
In terms of how things have been going in the games industry,
I think
we are currently in an environment that was very similar to the ET event.
No. Because video games back then were nowhere near as entrenched in our culture as they are now.
That is true.
And
also
there's no way that it's just going to wipe out the gaming industry because of that. It might. I think there's like a cycle where it's going to go through where there's going to be maybe a low. But
it won't wipe it out. It won't completely.
It's not going to be like that where like the only saving grace it had was Nintendo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Amigas and Commodore 64s, but
no, they were part of that. They were the ones that died out.
But
not really.
Okay. We can
on.
argue history lesson on that here. No, John, you make a valid point. I do think that it was hyperbolic, but it was also intentional, because I don't know, when you have indie devs that are making game, like think of the most popular independent games that have come out recently, right? Like that you can just think off the top of your head. They're single man shops or very small man shops, and as soon as they make it big, they just kind of disappear. Like there's like, can you think?
Well, is that a case of like cashing in, or is that a case of them, what you were saying, moving into bigger companies, or like what?
I think it's a mix of both. Like Notch, Notch is Notch. He just kind of
that was more of an emotional thing,
right? Yeah. But think of others like
because all the really good games that like I can like there's in my mind there are indie games
Killing
that are like there's indie games, and then there's like really good indie games, there's classic, and then there's like legendary indie games. And like legendary indie games are things, what you're talking about, AAA, you're talking like Double Fine, Behemoth, Supergiant, all those really big studios now, really big for indie studios, like 50 plus people.
Well,
but there's that. And they're still indie. They're still, quote indie.
But haven't we had AAA devs in the indie scene for like a while? Technically speaking, Valve was indie for a little bit.
Valve is technically speaking.
I wouldn't even consider them on the chart at this point.
I don't either. But technically,
but then you have companies like the guys who did Killing Floor, which Killing Floor literally started out as a mod to another game, and then who I know these guys.
Doesn't really matter.
Pre-ordered. Yeah, it was doesn't
really matter.
Tripwire Interactive. That's it. Sorry, I had to get it. They started out with 10 dudes making a mod for a game, and then all of a sudden they're making millions of dollars making some of the most fun games we've played. Are they hurting Nate, or are they hurting Tim?
No, because they had the same exact
shot
that everyone else had, and then if you're going to compare Nate and Tim, they're coming from two complete different backgrounds.
That's true.
Tim has a lot more experience. He's worked for AAA companies, and again, that's what I was saying, AAA coming down to indie. And then Nate, who has little to none previous to Geek Monster Games, which is a studio. Either way, they both have to work from a starting point. You know what I mean?
Yep, right.
Tim has the experience, and he probably has some more resources and connections than Nate does, but Nate still has to start from scratch. Just like the people of Killing Floor, just like Notch. Yep. Notch was the one guy working on that for years. Right. You know what I mean? Just like the Behemoth, that was Tom Fulp and Dan Paladin getting together one day and saying, "Hey, let's make a game."
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it started off as a Flash game, Same thing with Super Meat Boy. That was a Flash game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all start from the same place. It's just that some make it that far, some don't. People keep pushing it because it's an industry of passion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sold.
and so I don't think it's gonna hurt anything.
No.
Well, okay.
If anything, it'll only keep the people who really want to make good games.
I think there's a cycle, and,
Yeah.
and you know
we're sort of cusping.
there could be a low
right
at some
now.
point, but it's not going to be a bust situation. That's what I'm
Just a slight bubble shrink.
right.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it could pop, but I mean, we're not gonna. It's not gonna disappear. We're in an ocean. That's a little bit.
That was deep, man.
Yeah.
You know what else is deep?
The reasons for starting the riot.
Starting a riot. Okay, I'm going to play the bumper. I forgot to do it for news. Son of a bitch. No, fuck it. I'm not doing a bumpers. Fuck it. Sorry, too late now. Or fuck that.
Oh, this game is so beautiful. Was there actual? I have to ask.
Why did
'cause
everyone leave us?
It's
by the way?
it's so beautiful that I contemplated starting to play it like right now.
Quick question on this. Is there actual combat in it? I
Kind
played
of.
40 minutes,
There's like little powers that you have to like stun enemies.
but there's no like actual combat.
Well,
mechanic.
you have. It's not really combat. It's more like a flea mechanic.
Gotcha. That's what I thought.
Trying to find Prep's
Oh,
quote.
and by the way, I have like this game gave me a great experience right from the start, and I want to talk about that when we get to it.
Prep gave me a good quote for the game because I gave him a copy because they gave us like extra copies.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. I got it.
Oh, I'm also still really frustrated because I realized that as I was talking to my friend Colin about our starting the Riot game, he commented about how this just makes your opinions on Submerged that much more real because you're actually talking about this one. Like, man, I don't like that game. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Doesn't like you, so fuck you.
It's not my kind of thing.
It's not me. It's you.
But this game is.
God, why?
Oh, and Josh is.
Didn't we meet Spielbars at Indie 3?
Spielberg.
Because it sounds so familiar to me.
Yeah, they. That looks their logo looks familiar.
Indie 3 or was it
Something.
Indiecade?
Spielbar sounds so familiar to me, and I don't.
Yeah, I'm looking at their previous packages, their previous projects packages. I'm looking at your guys' packages.
Panda Bounce. Never seen that game. Wow, going from that to this? Damn. Where are they located?
The Netherlands.
Oh.
God, this sounds so familiar though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
They have a pretty
I feel
big
like
team.
I feel like we covered them at one point before too, but I don't remember what or why.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. This is horrible. Okay, sorry. Moving on.
Okay. Josh, it's you.
Lumini.
Lumini.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going with
Yes, that is how you pronounce it, Josh.
Lumini.
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 Ludum Dare.
You guys are horrible.
Okay.
Yep. You ready?
This week on Starting the Riot, we have a beautiful game. There are so many, like, I'm pretty sure everyone who has been touched by this game has been touched by an angel, and we're going to get some gameplay up, so you can be touched too, right here on Indie Game Riot. There you go. Lumini is the game by Spielbars. And we were just, before the segment started, we were just talking about, like, Spielbar sounds so familiar, and I feel like we've talked about them before, but I don't know. But anyway, this game is a, I don't, would you say 2D? It's
2.5D.
2.5D, I don't know, 2D, 2.5D side-scrolling
2
game.
point.
It's mostly a puzzler, and they're not particularly hard puzzles. It's just kind of like, put people on this pressure pad as you're seeing, and then put different, well, not people, Lumini, excuse me, birdfish.
Little flying alien bird things.
Glowing birdfish, and put them on other pressure pad. It's really not hard.
Yeah.
And a little bit of like a twitchy kind of aspect to it too, as far as like dodging enemies and everything goes. And
it's 2 sticks, so one stick controls the whole thing, and then you can separate a group off. So that's sort of part of the puzzle aspect.
Just to put into perspective, like what we thought. I mean, we all thought it was beautiful. From our very own prep, part of the IGR team here, he sent me an email following him playing it. He was compelled to just be like, and he's never done this for any other game, by the way.
He hasn't.
Lumini is outstanding. I've gotten chills from games like Elder Scrolls, but never from a game like this. The music, the environment, just amazing. And actually, the chills thing, I kind of experienced that too, because it's so weird. I'm just gonna say 2D, even though it's got 3D aspects to it, but it's just say 2D. And the scope feels huge.
Yeah.
Even though you're these tiny little creatures in usually
the crazy
a cave.
And the crazy thing too is, like, right when you start out, the camera's like really zoomed in on your one guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, awesome, okay, so this is the thing. And then as you like get more, like, you don't really notice it, but you start to see more of the cave, and it stops being like this sort of claustrophobic little tunnel that you're in, and just really opens up.
Yeah.
And the more guys you have, the bigger it gets. I will say that the one gripe that I have isn't really a gripe. It's just a little, I guess, a quirk that I had was when I started playing it, I passed like a corridor into the background, and I'm like, ooh, I want to go through there. Wait a second, I can't. This is on a 2D plane. And in terms of making this game not feel like you're in a tunnel, it's absolutely required, and it works amazingly.
I want to point out too that this gameplay does not do it justice, like what you're seeing now on the show, because this mixed with the music, and actually playing through it, it's incredibly relaxing. While even though you're still dodging enemies and all that sort of stuff, but it's incredibly relaxing. The music is so beautiful and dramatic, but not to the point where it gets your heart beating super fast necessarily, but.
I would say my one complaint in the time that I spent playing this, my one complaint is the controls are just a little bit too floaty.
See, I liked that, and that's weird for me to say that.
See,
they are a little bit too floaty.
I think
I guess I would say sort of.
I mean, they are floaty, but I thought it was more of a on purpose because
I think it was the reason I said it's a problem. For me at least, it's not like a major one, but one of the towards the end of my playing session, while I was sitting at the office, there's the 2 fans where you have to separate, and then both thumbsticks you have to rotate them. So
the fan was a little bit annoying. Keep
that right there is just that's what did it.
But I don't know.
I haven't been able to pass that point.
Really? I wouldn't say it's that hard. Jeez.
You're using a controller, right?
I'm using a controller, and just the way that my mind and my
I will say that you sort of have to use a controller for this game, by the way.
Yeah. I would.
I started it out on the keyboard, and I move one way, and I'm like, and I get to the second thing, it's like, oh yeah, use the arrow keys, and I'm like, nope, plugged it in, picked it up.
My one, I guess, gripe, and maybe it's just me, like I don't understand it. Is I still don't, even though I've played it a lot, I still don't fully understand why they give you different mechanics as far as like the different Lumini are concerned.
I like that aspect.
But I've played through the entire game with one color. I mean, I have other colors, but like using one color's ability.
Well, sure, but why not have multiple tools available? Make things easier.
But if there's
a color,
your playstyle.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like there should always be a reason.
But it doesn't necessarily lock players into having to do a certain thing that they may not like.
I guess I feel like if it's that easy to go through with one color, like I feel like if you're gonna have multiple colors and multiple abilities, there should be areas of the game, not all areas, but certain areas of the game that may be like, oh, I have to switch here in order to solve this puzzle. You know what I mean? That's just in my mind. I feel like that should be something, but even so, it didn't take away from the game for me. It just kind of made me like, why? You know what I mean? It's just.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest takeaway from this is we're nitpicking because there's not a lot of bad to say on this.
I really need to bring this up. When I first started this game up and I was watching the intro cutscene when it played, I saw that and I'm like, I know what this game is. Like, I've seen gameplay of this, but I'm watching this and I'm immediately just in there. And it was just so beautifully done and so well executed that it didn't hesitate to just be like, hey, this is the world, this is the hole that you live in, and these are things. And I'm just like, I got it all. Thank you very much for making it pretty.
Yep. It's very easy to pick up, and it's so damn beautiful. Like
what's messed up though is
as Prep said in the chat, it's kind of hard to. There isn't a lot one can say about this other than wow.
And the other crazy thing too is the floaty flying makes it so you can do these really pretty like maneuvers around, and just like, let's say you're in a boring corridor. Oh, I'm in a boring corridor. I'm gonna make circles. Like that happens.
It's so weird though, because this game kind of activates certain emotions in you while you're playing it.
Yeah,
too. And it's because like you start to feel like the first time I lost one of my Lumini to like an enemy or something like that, I was like, I did like the Vader thing, like no. I was like, no, poor Lumini, and it felt. You can see it like fall to the floor, all dead and sad.
The little cry of pain.
Yeah, like, they're so cute.
They really are. I'll admit I murdered my first batch. Because,
really?
Because when I play a game, especially for a game that we're going to be featuring on the show, I want to play around with the mechanics. I want to experience anything and everything. I want to see if I can break it. So one of the downsides to this game, I will say for me at least, is that it does rely on color a lot. And that makes it a tad bit difficult for me. So you know that very first time you see a wall with spikes on it?
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't quite look like it's dangerous.
Kinda.
It might
a different color than everything else. I mean,
which is good for that, but it just kind of looked like moss or something. So I figured, what the heck? I'll just kind of see, because I bounced off other walls and was like, I'll just check it out. And I ran my 3 little things into it, my little luminis, and they all went. Did you fell and die? And I was hurt. I was sad, but I murdered them, and then started playing again. It's a simplistic game, but it's so much fun, and there's a depth to it.
Back to like the multiple gameplay mechanics that you don't necessarily have to use. How did you actually play it? Did you switch it, or did you use one specific color? Because I'm watching this gameplay footage here, and this guy seems to be using the red a lot, which actually seemed to be able to like straight out kill enemies, and he's taking his time to actually take them out. The way I played it, I used the blue, the ones that you start off with.
The dash?
That use the dash and the stun.
I
literally was just like, I was flying through, and I felt like freaking Top Gun flying through the caves, because I was just like whoosh, 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 going through targets and through obstacles and things like that, and I used the stun to like maybe knock them away for a little bit. And I was going through it really fast because I thought that was fun. So maybe you're right as far as like,
how you want to
play it, but still. So how did you actually play it then?
I only had maybe one color. I don't know. I unlocked the dash right before I had to go.
Yeah. I really liked playing this. Like, I went as slow as I possibly could, but I wasn't like, it was more of like I'm going to avoid things and then experience this. Like, I'm lost in this and I need to find my way, but I'm in no rush.
I had a personal goal of trying to light everything.
I tried that, and then some stuff doesn't light, and I'm like,
cool.
Fuck it.
It's cool that there's like little secret areas and stuff that you can collect. I still don't. That's one other thing I was kind of like, why am I not being explained to like somehow like what these things I'm collecting do?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I know why you collect the little blue shiny orbs off the flowers, because that gives you more Lumini at those cubes. But, like, the green things or the big crystals, like, I don't know what they're for. Why am I collecting them? You know? But I do, and I still think it's cool that there's little secret areas that you can, mess with and explore. The other thing that I was like, even before playing the game, I started up and I got onto the main screen. I was looking at it, I was like, huh, it's a nice-looking game. And then I went to scroll my mouse over, like the menu, to start the game, and I heard, boom, dun, 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 you know, like the music, and I was like, oh my god. And I think there was like one other game that did this, where you would like scroll over each part in the menu, and it would like play with the music playing in the background, and it fit so well, and it was beautiful.
That was Not a Hero.
Was it Not a Hero?
Yeah.
It was weird. Well, this one such a weird opposite game. But this one, like, the music was so beautiful, and I was like, I'm doing this, I'm making music. And I seriously sat there for like 10 minutes just making music at different speeds. Like, I was actually like doing it purposefully. All that sort of stuff I don't know. I really enjoyed that. Even though it wasn't actually like in game.
These guys
it's just such a good game. It's very
Whoever's
fun.
playing this game right now and this gameplay sucks. Just putting that out
there.
Yeah. Look how small his group is. You're just wasting lives of poor innocent Lumini. And
you say that like it's...
You shut up too, you murderer. Poor little innocent Lumini.
Yeah, well, if you are into the less accepted things in life, like murdering or other such things, you might want to come down.
Murder.
you might want to come over to the Peep Show.
We didn't actually talk about the platform for that game,
or we can mention it at the beginning of
anything.
We'll mention it at the beginning of Peep Show.
Okay.
Because we were so worked up with.
We're so hyped.
I also need to let me copy the link for those of you in the chat. There we go. That's the link to Lumini, in case you're interested.
Retribution, how's it going?
Speaking of the massive amounts of people that are here right now, we have a copy of Lumini to give away. So
should we have done that then, or
is that
what?
Wow, voting is over. Winners are drawn.
It does that. It always does that shit. It's fucking annoying. Fuck
I
you.
voted.
God damn it. That's one thing with Hitbox. Like, sometimes it still does stupid shit.
Do you want me to do it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
dun dun dun.
how do you spell existence?
Properly.
Well, hopefully that's right. How about you fucking work this time? Good job. All right, so all you got to do, for those of you in the chat who are eligible, hit the yes if you want to win. I will choose through Hitbox, which chooses randomly from those of you who hit yes, and you will win a copy of Lumini. Chances are good.
There's only 2-3 of you.
So go do that. If you are lurking, I don't know if there's any lurkers right now. You do have to be signed in to do this. Hurry up and do that. Sign in, create an account. It doesn't take long. And after you've created your account, follow us because, whoring.
God, this game is so beautiful.
Yeah. Spiel bars. I feel like, where the fuck did we... I swear, I think it's Indie 3.
It might have been.
I get the feeling, because the logo, you're right, the logo looks familiar.
Did they do a... Did they do something for that? Like, usually they list off if...
They didn't seem to recognize us, so I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Well, that doesn't necessarily...
Maybe it's just similar to another dev studio, because their logo looks pretty familiar. But it could just be because it's like a lot of other logos.
Spielbar still sounds familiar too. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was on Indie Static. It was on Steam Greenlight. Anyways, okay.
All right, how long should we give these people?
There's only 2 of them. If they haven't clicked
I don't know.
yes
Maybe
by
there's
now-
people coming in. You don't know.
You can look and see how many votes there are.
There might be people still waiting to come in. They might see it on Twitter because there's people tweeting it right now. Maybe someone's like, "Oh shit, glad I saw this tweet," and then they come in here and we're done. They're like, "Oh no," and then they like, I don't know. I was gonna say something inappropriate. So never mind.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I do have...
Yeah.
Oh, right. This is me. All right.
Let me go ahead and pick a winner.
And the winner is...
The wiener.
Dun, 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 dun. Me!
Gasp. Okay.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want me
And
Do
you know what?
Do you want me to start it to announce the winner and to
I'll
and to
lead
say
into it.
the thing?
I will lead into it.
Remember to say like how much it costs for Lumini?
Yeah.
Since
Yeah,
we
I got
forgot.
it. This week on... Let me start over.
Take 3.
This week, before we start Peep Show, we just wanted to mention that Lumini is on PC, Mac, or Linux, and you can pick it up on Steam for $12.99 US.
We got caught up in the moment. Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot to
it's
mention
just
it.
such a beautiful game. We're like, it doesn't matter what it costs.
Yeah.
We're drooling on it, so
Make it live.
we forgot about all the details.
Another
Secondly-
thing that we forgot to announce, for our live stream audience, we have a giveaway for Lumini. So, Josh, take it away.
Oh yeah, we had a giveaway for Lumini. We selected randomly out of those who said they wanted the game, and thanks to Hitbox Randomizer, we have a winner.
It is not me.
Do something special, guys.
Dun 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 dun.
That was certainly special.
Right?
Our winner is Retnuption. Retnuption.
Renuption. Congratulations.
Congratulations! You win a copy of Lumini. You will certainly be blinded with the game's beauty, and I will whisper you the code in just a moment. Take it away, Tech.
It's in Steam.
Yeah, so this week on Peep Show, we have a game that killed my power supply. Not actually, but I am afraid of opening up the game just because I am superstitious like that. We are talking about Layers of Fear, which is a psychological first-person horror game where you take the role of I guess a deranged artist on his path to finish his magnum opus.
I gotta bring up the gameplay.
This is yes, and as you will be able to see on the gameplay, or for those of you who are listening, it is very similar to Amnesia controls, where you slide things to pull things to open and close, and you sort of pick stuff up and examine them, and you pretty much are sort of left to your own devices. I haven't played a whole lot of this game because, like I said, it totally killed my computer.
I couldn't
Probably
even-
doesn't. Probably actually doesn't kill the computer. It is a very pretty game. And even though it is in early access, I am a little bit disappointed at the level of control that you actually have in the settings. And I'm not usually one to really complain about this. The two
complain
biggest
about everything.
The two biggest sliders that they're missing in the settings is mouse sensitivity and field of view.
Just to point out that this is early access.
It is early access. I
Very
know.
likely that sort of stuff will be.
But this
eventually.
is important because this game gave me a headache, and I had to lower my DPI on my mouse, and it still wasn't slow enough. So you get that sort of bothered me. And then it doesn't have any like anti-aliasing, so all the lines on these crisp models look like jagged edges. And
Again,
I hope it is
also
early access.
still in
Exactly.
development.
Exactly. But and then field of view. Give me a field of view option because it's hard zipping around the screen as fast as my mouse can move. It's also hard when you have tunnel vision and you're trying to walk through walls. Other than that, it's very atmospheric. It doesn't really. It's not as like traditionally horror-y horror.
Horror.
Like it doesn't feel yeah. It is a horror game, but the environment at first like didn't even really feel like it was a horror game. It just felt
Really? Like when the painting goes launching across the hallway.
Okay, not like that, but
or like the demon painting that like lunges out to you and sucks you in.
It's a nice house, you know.
It's a beautiful house that's trying to kill you.
There's something about this whole atmosphere with the paintings. I don't know about you, but like, have you ever been in an area like in a house or even just an art gallery or something like that where there's these kinds of like paintings, and there's like a weird movement now, I think, with like really disturbing, haunting paintings like these.
Yeah.
You know what?
So they're real. And have you ever like been near them and just? It's almost like that.
No, I've never really.
It's like the uncanny valley effect where you're like, I know it's just a painting, but it feels off, you know.
You know what this game really reminds me of? I've been sitting here racking my brain trying to think about
Amnesia.
No, Among the Sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
Like I get that same like innocence, but not innocence.
Yeah.
Feel like, you know, it's I'm still not sure whether I'm hallucinating or if, you know, this is actually all happening.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Like I'm really getting that childlike isn't the correct term for it, but I get that
nostalgic?
same view.
Naive.
No.
Naive.
Moving on.
Okay, anyway.
My point is, it reminds me very much of that. And if my laptop could handle playing it, I could definitely see myself getting sucked into this one as much as I don't do horror.
Yeah, this is a. I feel like it's a different take on like the Outlasts and the Hectors. It sort of feels a little bit different. The game doesn't put off that pretense of I'm going to scare you half to death and it's going to be terrifying things. Like this turns regular mundane things into the most terrifying things in the world. Because it's like, you know, you're home, you're in a friendly environment with relatively normal everyday items like paintings and stuff on the table, and then it just takes that and is just like, nope, you should be scared of this, you should be scared of that. Hey, see this? It's a nice fluffy bunny. Be scared of that too. And that's but that's like one of the coolest things about it, because it doesn't feel like the other horror games that I've played.
I
Fair
think
enough.
that number one thing with horror games in my mind, it's arguably number one, is atmosphere.
Yep.
And they did a fantastic job of this.
They
and
did.
by the way, this game kind of came out of nowhere. Usually these games, because you know, we know horror games are generally YouTube gold. This game did not get promoted. It wasn't like anything. It just kind of came out like, hey, we're a thing. And everyone's like, what is this on Steam? And then it's gaining traction very, very quickly.
In the 7 days that it's been on early access.
Surprisingly, I haven't seen too many YouTube videos of it. I mean, there are obviously, because that's where I'm playing.
Maybe I'll do one.
Yeah, go ahead. But not from like the big names. Surprisingly,
if I can get myself to actually turn the game on again,
Pussy,
then
you can do it.
a lot of people are saying this game is like a lot of press are saying that this game is the best horror game this year, and it's probably the best one since. Well, it's hard to say the best one since, because you know there's different horror games to choose from, but it's probably the best horror game this year, which is a good bit. I mean, Soma still has to be released, which is by Amnesia creators, but that's high praise, because there's a lot of horror games out there, because again, it's YouTube Gold, and everyone wants to cash in on horror game things. So
yeah. So Layers of Fear, it's by Bloober Team. You can pick it. It is currently in early access, but you can buy it for $9.99
I want to know
on Steam.
I was just thinking to myself, I don't know, like, the art in this game, since there's so much of it, who made it?
Probably them.
Because that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's really talented.
Yep.
If they have like an artist that made all this stuff. Because there's, like I said, there's a movement now, and there's a lot of artists who are actually getting really famous, and people are paying a lot of money for art that's terrifying like these.
Yeah.
So that's maybe they're in the wrong. Maybe
Yeah,
they're in the wrong
exactly.
field.
And by the way, it is currently only for Windows,
Yep.
in English, so it's an early access game.
I can't wait.
Oh, it looks.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the full version.
As soon as they give me a a field of view slider and mouse sensitivity,
Oh, the baby
I'll
dolls.
be there.
So I was looking at the gameplay footage, and the one thing with I thought they were like those like artists, they use those like little mini mannequins that you can like adjust. Those things creep me out for some reason. I don't like them, and that's what I thought those were. But anyway, any last words on?
We are also going to be giving code away to our live studio audience.
We're doing that.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we'll announce the winner. Well, actually, I've been doing it the whole time, so I guess I can announce the winner now.
All right.
So we'll do that now. All right. Yep. No one voted.
Really?
Well, they did, but it was people that don't give a shit. So.
So we'll run that during the break.
I voted yes. I'll take a heart attack.
I didn't actually announce it, so
That's
maybe I'll
true.
just do it again.
So we'll give you guys a second chance, right before we go into free fun.
Woo!
Damn, that was a decent segue.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay, I have to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, guys, if you want a copy of Layers of Fear, vote when I do this thing.
This episode's going by pretty well. We got a good time on it.
Dude, the one that we did, just you and me,
Yeah.
because I actually just edited that today. That was the one we covered Rocket League.
Yeah.
That was so efficient.
Really?
Yeah, it was. It was like an hour, even.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Rev's the problem.
All right, if you want a copy of Layers of Fear, click yes. I'll choose randomly. Oh, it's hot.
Oh yeah, prep. That's a cool idea.
Also, I saw that Redemption. Oh God. Sorry, I got the fan like right here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Said that it's kind of like antechamber,
Yeah.
which I guess I can kind of see, but I don't know. Maybe a stretch.
Well, thank you for that comment.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Retribution.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
And Josh is like, I don't know what's going on.
No,
No,
I've
he's
got
totally
like
a fan.
I've got fan right now. I heart fan.
You are a fan.
So I actually didn't know that this game was free.
It's a Ludum Dare game.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, but
I feel like that's all.
I saw a lot of people playing it. I didn't know it was free.
I feel like that's all Lucas Pope has been doing recently. Like he's doing the notch. Like I don't give a fuck anymore. Papers, please. That was it. I don't want money.
Timeshare. Yeah.
Although I think he is going to eventually charge for Obra Dinn.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like
yeah.
it's taking him forever.
No, it is. I don't think it is. There's a lot of stuff in that game.
692.
So far, it's taken him about the same amount of time that Jay has been doing it, and Jay had funding.
Well, I think there's a little bit more to Dropsy. I mean, I'm not criticizing.
A little
him.
bit. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I just feel.
I don't
it's-
know. Obra Dinn's going to be a pretty big game, though. I mean, not like actually big, but like there's going to be. I guess Dropsy is a lot bigger. Yeah.
5 days.
Woo!
5 days.
All right.
Oh, my email is filling up with alarms from one of the clients that I'm going to be spending this weekend at.
So,
You getting in bed with him?
Ready.
Really?
What? Hope we vote?
I won.
All right. Well, no one's getting it then.
All right.
We'll see. We'll give it out to the to the.
Well, Redemption already has. I always call you Redemption. I want to say that. Already has a copy, and Belrog just doesn't care anymore, I guess. So.
Right, but I'm saying like let's give it out to our recorded version.
You're a recorded version.
Yes, I am.
Creepypasta competition.
All right. On our website?
Yeah. Too bad this didn't come out for our Halloween episode.
Yeah. Yeah, do that. Yeah, we'll make a post about a creepypasta competition that people post to. And then we'll pick the winner from there.
Is there like a creepypasta forum that you can put that in?
I
don't really.
Pasta.
I've had one thing published on creepypasta, but that was as far as my experience with creepypasta.
Yeah, we'll throw it over to the Reddit.
Well, I don't do Reddit anymore because I fucking got banned from shit. So I was like, all right, fine, fuck.
Wait, you got banned from what?
The bigger indie game Reddit.
Oh, who cares?
I know. I was just like,
those guys are
it's
assholes.
just irritating. I was like, really? Like, what the fuck do you want from me? I was legitimately like, hey, this is helpful for those of you who are interested in indie games. I know it's mine, but I'm not just sitting here like, click me. I'm like, hey, in case you want to show off your shit or enjoy indie games, you should probably check it out.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I was posting IRX. That's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fuck those guys.
So.
That's us. Just pointing that out.
No, the guys who banned him.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I was. That's what I was saying.
Like,
Yeah, fuck those. No, not the IRX guys.
Guys.
Yeah. All right.
So,
fuck
well,
IRX
are we doing that? Are we doing a creepypasta competition
Yeah,
on the website?
let's do
cool.
that.
All right, let's do it. Scariest one wins.
Okay.
And Rev, it's you.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was playing the game.
Dipshit.
Who did this one?
Lucas Pope.
Oh, right.
Sorry, we're talking about
We
what
were
we're
just
doing.
talking about it.
All right,
Play the game!
come on, Tech, get your head in the game.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say that.
It's going to be a long weekend. And finally, this week, we have Unsolicited. You burn in hell, you spamming bastards, by Lucas Pope. This was made for Ludum Dare 33. You Are the Monster was the theme, as you recall. And you are, like, take Papers, Please, without the bombs, and you're an actual inhuman beast that is spamming people with physical mail. And you kind of have the idea of this. Like, that's the game. And it changes as it goes. I'm currently to the point where I have 4 different forms that I'm picking between and a million different offers that I have to do. And if you screw it up, it gets crumpled, thrown to the side, and done. But you have to go through every single one of those options that you see on the left there in order to... Yeah, you're a living spam bot. And I don't know what happens when time runs out. I'm intentionally letting my personal timer go down. I've got 10 seconds left on that, and it's not quite an actual 10 seconds. But it just... it irritated me. Like, it has all of the attention to detail stuff that I had.
You're like, why isn't ad block working?
Yeah. But it was like, it was very reminiscent of Papers, Please, without the immediate emotional draw to the situation.
And yet, it still makes you feel like shit.
But it still makes, like, I'm having flashbacks to when I was working in call centers.
Uh-oh.
Wait, you were a telemarketer?
No, well, I did that. I did surveys.
So, telemarketer.
I was a telemarketer that didn't sell you anything.
Right.
Yeah, I did that, and I've also, did call center tech support. But I mean, this is like, I'm having flashbacks to that, and I'm not actually doing it. It's just, like, it's just here in my browser. So, well done. Yeah, I feel like a monster. Thanks, Lucas Pope, you bastard.
You send it out. What have I done? What have I done?
And like, okay, so I intentionally didn't pass this last level that I was on just to see what happens, and it fails me. Acme Spamco. I must process at least 5 forms in this level and make fewer than 4 mistakes. Try again, and in order to try it again, you get I will redeem myself in the eyes of the Acme form letter company and the world. No, you won't, you bitch.
It kind of reminds me of it's the style of Papers, Please in the mind of Lucas Pope. But do you remember we did a free fun game? Oh, I forget what exactly it was called, but basically you were stuck in like
Presentable Liberty.
That one, Presentable Liberty. It kind of has like that same kind of like you should hate yourself and hate the world around you.
Yeah.
And and you feel bad about everything that you're doing.
You are the monster.
It kind of it kind of has that kind of feel to it. Yeah.
Like it's well done. It's a very simplistic game, but like everything about it, from what limited sound design there is, all the way to the fact that I'm folding up and sending this out to people at their home address.
They should sell. He should fully release it like in an actual game and sell a what do you call it? Like an accessory thing where you actually have to lick. And it tastes like shit, just like the envelope. So then you feel really bad about it.
USB port.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking if he wanted to really sell the whole "you're a legitimate monster" aspect to it, he could build an API and then sell this to physical mail spammers.
So then the people playing the game are giving actual information out.
Right?
Oh my god.
So it's or it ends up being like an email or something, but. Yeah. But still, like using an actual database, like the company, like I'm
scrambles the numbers
too, and I upload my database of contacts into this, and then like people just playing the game end up spamming my entire database. Like, holy god, that would be horrific.
That'd be fantastic.
Lucas Pope, don't use that idea.
Do it.
No, don't.
Don't.
I will hunt you down.
Forward everything to
Tech
Reverend at IndieGameRiot.com. So anyway,
you know what else you can forward to IndieGameRiot.com? Entry.
An entry.
Well, let me just say this is the end of the show.
Yes.
Because all the good things must come to an end. But first, as
one
Tech
of these
was
days,
saying,
we're going to be one of those good things.
While you were gone in between segments, Tech and I were discussing how fluid and efficient the episode was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was gone. Just while I was gone.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah. So we have a copy of Layers of Fear, and I forgot about it. We have a copy of Layers of Fear, and instead of doing an actual giveaway during a live show, since we already gave away Lumini, what we decided is we're going to hold a competition. We're going to do a creepypasta competition.
On our website.
We didn't think this the whole way through, but I'm going to go ahead and say no more than 500 words.
A 500-word creepypasta?
It's going to be short, because I don't have time for that
That's
shit.
going to be hard, too. It's going to be challenging. You're gonna
I will read
If Ernest Hemingway...
I'll read them.
Can write
Ernest Hemingway was an alcoholic.
Can write a story in 6 words.
Yeah.
That story was something ridiculous. Come on.
All right, fine. We'll
give it 1,500 words.
1,500 words. No more than 1,500 words. And no more than 1,500 words.
Can you tell we're making this up on the spot?
Send it to. We'll put it out in social areas and stuff like that. So this is a good chance for everyone listening to the recorded version to win. But send it to
show off your writing talent.
Send it to contact@indiegameriot.com. We'll forward it to everyone that matters, and probably to Rev, Tech, and I, and then I'll probably get prep in it on it. So we'll have 4 judges.
It was sort of his idea.
Yeah, it was his idea. We'll have 4 judges, and you'll win a copy if we think your creepypasta's the best.
And I hate creepypasta because they're so damn creepy. So good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh yeah, that just additional. I cannot think. I'm so tired.
Points.
Additional motivation to do this is to scare the shit out of Rev.
Yeah.
I promise I will only
if you were here
read these
before the
after
show,
dark.
if you were here before the show, you heard how he just traumatized his 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, he deserves this.
So he deserves like the fist.
I deserve the creepypasta for traumatizing my munchkin. I like that.
But if you feel like that we deserve something good, what you should do is go to patreon.com/Indie Game Riot, because there you can donate $1 or more. It comes out every month, and it helps us grow the show, helps us reach our goals, which are all listed on Indie Game Riot. So, for instance, our next goal is $100 a month, guaranteed. I mean, we get giveaways sometimes, but if we do $100 a month, we will guarantee that there will be a giveaway every single episode during the live stream. And that also supports the devs, because obviously we will be buying that game. And of course there's more goals, and you can go take a look at the thing. Patreon.com/Indie Game Riot. So thank you so much for your consideration. Secondly, if you can think of an indie game, or if you can think of some music or anything that has to do with indie games in general, some news, anything like that, please contact us. There's tons of ways to do that. First of all, you can always come chat with us on hitbox.tv/JaShinYa, for those of you listening to the recorded version, every Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's all that matters in this world, is that time. Where you can follow and subscribe and support us that way, too. Or you can go to Twitter at IGR Podcast or Facebook.com/IGR Podcast. Or finally, contact at IndieGameRiot.com. Just a good old-fashioned email. Send us the information that way.
Did you mention Player.me? I got my copy of the Android app.
Yeah.
I've been using it all day. I've had more posts and comments made today than I have.
Is it
in the history
fantastic?
of Player.me.
Does it work well?
It has some bugs.
It's beta version, right?
It is. Yeah, it's still in testing mode.
So we are on Player.me, if anyone knows what that is. If you don't, go to Player.me, create an account, and you can follow us there. Player.me.
Yep.
Any last words, gentlemen?
I'm tired.
I'm really tired. I'm excited for what's next. I hope the news next week is happier.
We got some good games coming up.
Yeah.
I got 2 starting to Riot games lined up.
Sweet.
I know you had opinions about the one. The other one,
Yeah.
I think Rev is going to really like, because it's very similar to Neverending Nightmares.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
It's not October yet.
keep an eye out for that. Oh, just wait till October rolls around, son.
I hate me.
Say goodbye, gentlemen.
See you next time, guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Toodle.